Call the council meeting to order. Stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll.
All right. My last time doing this, I hope. Mayor O'Connor.
Here.
Councilor Morissette.
Here.
Alms.
Here.
DeZiel.
Here.
Weber.
Here.
Atkins Hoggett is absent, and Hall.
Here.
All right, everybody, let's see. I guess we're not doing that. Public hearings. Public hearing for an amendment to Municipal Code Chapter 255 zoning to include development information meetings. Is there anyone here who would like to make a comment on this? Any comment? Any comment?
Move to close the hearing.
Second.
Motion second to close the open hearing or public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion of possible action on ordinance 01-20 to amend Municipal Code Chapter 255 zoning to include development information meetings.
I can take it. I'm here, so that's easier. It's just one of the things that Mike and I kind of talked about as far as with the number of development projects that are going to be coming forward, for a way to get the developer and the neighbors communicating early in the process before that even comes to the city. So with this, basically, before we even get a formal application, the developer needs to sit down with the neighbors, explain their project, take their input, hopefully take that input into account when they prepare their final application and submit it to the city for processing. So it's just kind of an early first step. But again, like I said, our goal with this is to get that communication between the developer and the neighbors early. And hopefully then when we get these applications in, we will avoid some of those issues of the developer and the neighbors kind of going back and forth on concerns and things like that. They'll identify them right away. Hopefully the developer will take that into account when they submit a formal application, and we'll try to avoid some of the things. We won't be able to avoid everything, but I think it's just a good way to establish that communication early.
What's the definition of neighbors in the ordinance? Is it 300 feet?
Is it the 350 or? We go 300. 300. About 300 feet, yep. And then obviously they're welcome to tell further as well, but that's who we'll send notice to.
Got it. Is that worth having a discussion tonight about potentially extending that? I mean, I personally think that that's pretty short range. I mean, depending on where in the city that we're talking about. I don't know what everybody else feels, but.
Okay, well, let's first move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Motion second to suspend the rules. Roll call.
Morissette.
Yes.
Alms.
Yes.
DeZiel.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
And Hall.
Yes.
Motion's approved. Rules are suspended.
Move to adopt ordinance number 1-20.
Second.
Motion second to adopt. Discussion?
Would you be willing to amend that to extend that? I mean, is that something that would be changed in this motion, or is that another topic?
I think that's something that probably should get bounced back to planning and have some conversation with them about what they think that proper distance would be.
Gotcha.
And then get a recommendation back.
Gotcha.
It doesn't really state that.
In some cases, 300 feet or 350 feet is totally inadequate. The impact of a large project is way beyond that.
Yeah.
The one,
Move it to 500.
Mike, do you have some recommendations?
Well, if we're going to,
Refer it back.
Defer to
yeah,
planning.
there's no point in talking about that right now.
Well, but we could put it into the ordinance if we needed to.
Well, but we're talking about an ordinance. This is a different ordinance, isn't it?
I guess my opinion would be is,
I
think you should bounce it to planning and have some conversation about it. And it would apply to this ordinance and or others as well.
Yeah, I think I want to be, my recommendation would be, let's be consistent, right? Because we already mail notice for final plat, rezonings, things like that. I don't want to have one be 500 feet, one be
Okay.
300, one be 200. You know, I think we want to look at
Okay.
making sure we're consistent.
So all of them are 300 feet?
Yes.
Okay. And How far is 300 feet? Is that
It
about a
depends.
city block? I mean,
It's
a
more than
football
that.
field.
Downtown, it'll be more than that, because, we draw a circle, obviously, a
Okay.
buffer on it. And then we try to shore it up so we don't, like, notice half a block, right? All of a sudden,
Okay.
one neighbor gets it, and the next door neighbor says, well, I didn't get it. We try to make sure that we round off the blocks so that, we err on the side of mailing further out than, just sticking to that 300 feet. So I think, we'll bounce it back to planning. We'll look at some examples of, let's say, if one property downtown applied, what that looks like, and then one on more of the periphery or larger lot type development, and see what that looks like.
okay. Is there a formal policy, or is it as far as, doing full blocks rather than just a partial block, or is it that just
It's not a
judgment?
policy. We just use judgment, and whenever it's questionable, you always err on over.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll withdraw my second. You want it to go to plan commission? She's-
Yeah, you
No,
want-
no, no, no.
Oh, I
no, no.
wanna-
This is, we're gonna pass, but or vote on, the issue itself on the 300 versus 500 or whatever is a broader issue that we will send back to Plan Commission.
This doesn't specify the, how large
Right.
of the neighborhood. It just says that, they're required to do an informational meeting.
In other words,
We were
the
using
amendment
this- we were using the
continues
standard
on.
300 feet. So if you approve this, we're going to do it,
Right.
and then we'll use the standard 300 feet until it gets bounced back around to figure out if we're going to expand that to a larger circle for everybody.
And the amendment carries with that, whatever change we
We'll
make.
amend all those other
Well,
sections
It would
too.
be- It would be
It's
consistent
policy
for
now?
everything, right? This is just referencing
Some of
that.
it's in the ordinance.
Some of it's statutory, yes,
Some is in
and
the
some of it's in the ordinance.
So if there's a new one, we'll update everything then.
So my question is this says that city staff may attend such meetings to gather information and to highlight relevant requirements as needed, but not organize or control the meeting. So would the city staff be thinking they would be present at these as kind of a listening tool?
I think especially on the larger projects, yes. Yep, we would certainly want to be aware of what was discussed, what the issues are, and then be able to make sure that that aligns with what the report the developer provides to the council and the plan commission in their application is.
Some of the smaller ones we may not send staff to. It will kind of depend on the project,
Okay.
really. But the point of this too is not to be a city-driven process.
Right.
We really want the developers and the neighbors to work together
Right.
early on in the process, and we're just there to kind of observe a little bit, and then our formal role will begin once they actually apply and make their applications.
Okay.
So.
Then my next question would be for Catherine. Can we do that legally? Is that a legal thing that we could
It's a
require
public
that?
meeting. If any elected officials are going to be going, which they might want to because it's in their, if it's, could be a quorum or information gathering, then we would need to post a notice of that.
We just want to know ahead of time, yeah.
Yeah, right. It would be very good to inform staff so that that could be posted. But again, the idea is to
Right,
listen.
right.
Could staff just automatically post these so that with a notice saying that the city council members may,
Yeah, we do that for a lot of our meetings
Yeah.
already. Just have that little disclaimer at the bottom.
yeah, have the disclaimer at the bottom, just in case a quorum should show up.
You're not calling a meeting though, so.
Well, but if, I mean, the case law is that if elected officials show up sufficient to, if it's sufficiently important that they want to be there for information gathering, it's going to affect their discussion at a governmental meeting, then and it's something that's required by an ordinance, I just think it's better to.
I think that's the
notice
biggest
it.
part. We're requiring it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's- that was-
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that to go along with that, as councilperson, I would want to know if there are any of these sort of meetings
Yes,
occurring.
I would too.
And it's not a requirement in the ordinance that I read that we be notified in some way.
Well, I think our practices for all these ones, I don't think our ordinance right now says that for our various hearings, whatever, that we have to notify the council about it, but we do. So anything that occurs, that we notify you of it. So you usually get those email notices
Yeah.
that this is happening and stuff.
But this
So-
is going through the
The developer,
developer.
you're right, it's not
So
gonna be
But-
publicly
we need
noticed.
to instruct the developer as part of this.
Well, but
ordinance.
we are the ones that are actually sending the
We're
notices
sending
out.
out the mailings.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
The city is going to have that involvement with it, because we're going to identify the 300 or whatever it turns out to be, and then we'll send out the notice and things like that. Their developers are paying for it, but we have that involvement part of it.
Okay.
So we will know of them, they have to notify us when they are, those sort of things, so we'll make sure we notify the council when they are as well.
Good.
And by the same token, if you do plan to attend, it would be good to notify staff so those notices could be posted.
Okay.
Everybody good? Anybody else?
Is Randy's second on the table still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Comments and suggestions from citizens present. Is there anyone that would like to make a comment? Ruth?
Ruth Peterson, 735 11th Street South here in town. I'm here on behalf of Hudson Hot Air Fair, inviting the council people, the citizens of Hudson, to come down to our Uplift ribbon cutting tomorrow at 3 o'clock down at Lakefront Park for the Operation Uplift. It's going to be a kickoff at pretty much our kickoff for Hot Air Fair, and then we have a number of pre-events also for January. I'll be back later in a month to really kick for Hot Air for the weekend. We're starting with the Uplift project tomorrow. On Friday, the 10th, we're having a kickoff fundraiser at Big Guys Barbecue Roadhouse. On Saturday, the 17th, we have candlelight hiking and skiing at the YMC camp. On Thursday, the 16th, we go to Jimmy John's and get a sandwich and mention Hot Air Fair, and proceeds go to the Hudson. Some of the proceeds go to the Hot Air Fair. We also have breakfast for the kids at Dick's on the 18th. Also on the 18th, we have a countdown at County Market. On Saturday, the 18th, we have a busy Saturday that day. We have the Taste of Hudson Hot Air Fair Balloon Up North Edition. It's the wine tasting at the Hudson House. The proceeds goes to the American Cancer Society. On Saturday, the 25th, we're doing an Ola and Lena 50th wedding anniversary show at the Hudson House from 1 to 3, and I've been making lefse for the last 2 hours for part of that show that day, so hopefully we don't use it all up before then. And tickets are available at different places than they are on the brochures. And then there is Saturday the 5th, we have a family day at the Phipps where kids would come in and make things to be in the parade for Friday night. So those are some of the pre-events that we have this year. We have a busy January, starting then the Hot Air Fair the following week, but we'd like to see some of you tomorrow. I know some of you will be able to attend and some won't, so I do appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Ruth.
Thanks.
Mary Claire?
Hi, good evening. Mary Claire Olson Potter with the Hudson Chamber of Commerce. First of all, I want to thank you for your partnership on the Holiday and the Lights project. Hopefully you got down there to see them, and if you had thoughts or ideas, but I know they were very well received. We've gotten some great PR with that, and a lot of folks that have been down there visiting, so we're excited that it went well. So thank you for your partnership. And just to let you know, you have one last look this week because they will start taking them down next week. I tried to push it off as long as possible, but I suppose the holidays have to end at some point. So you have this week yet to get down there and take your photos if you hadn't. Just a quick note, the Hudson Christmas Tour of Homes, we had our ticket sales were up this year, which was great. So we had more folks in town. And in talking with the retailers and the restaurant owners, for some of them, that Saturday is their best Saturday all year. So appreciate the city's help and support on that event. And as Ruth talked about, we are excited about the Hot Air Fair coming up. So I will let her cover that. And then we are working on our plan for 2020. So I will be back here to present that and talk to you more about that in the upcoming months. But I also just want to pass out, we do our calendar of events for 2020, so you can mark your calendar now. And so you know exactly when all the events are for 2020. So thank you for your partnership. I look forward to our continued work together in 2020.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary
Thanks.
Claire. Any other comments? Any other comments? Any other comments? Hearing none, we'll close that portion of the agenda. Consent agenda.
All right. Approve the meeting minutes from the December 16th, 2019 regular council meeting. Approve the claims in the amount of $1,843,876.24. Approve Animal Humane Society Impound Housing Services Annual Renewal. And approve the secondhand jewelry license for Kudos.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion second to approve. Roll call.
Who's second? Sorry.
Both. You can have a choice.
All in
Okay,
joint.
thank you.
Thank you. All right. Morissette?
Yes.
Alms?
Yes.
DeZiel?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
And Hall?
Yes.
Motion's approved. Let's see. New business. Approve the Hudson Boosters purchase and installation of 4 scoreboards at Grandview Park.
Good evening, Council. Mike Moraz, Director of Public Works. At the previous Park Board meeting, representatives from the Hudson Boosters Association came and requested approval to install 4 scoreboards out at Grandview Park. They will be all located on basically center field of the 4 ball fields that are currently there. They have monies raised for the purchase and installation of the scoreboards, so no city monies will be going towards the project. They're just looking for approval from the council to just make sure that they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's and just making sure that everybody's on board with the installation. So recommended for Park Board for approval.
Move to approve?
Second?
Motion second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Approve the Hudson Rotary Dunk event at Lakefront Park on Saturday, February 15th, 2020.
This is coming from Rotary. Ross Ebbs here from the Rotary Club, and we wanted to get it. They wanted to get it out of the way sooner than later for February's event. So if you have questions, Ross is here.
Yep, it's a one-day event. We've had it in the past. I know, it's gone over really well. It's a fundraising event for the Rotary. So they closed the beach house parking lot. People jump in the freezing water. Still don't know why they do that, but it's a good event. People dress up, so on and so forth. So like Randy said, they just wanted to get it approved. Didn't want to wait for public safety and then come back. They want to kind of get the ball rolling for advertising, so on and so forth. So just kind of push it up to council right away.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Approve the appointment of a city clerk.
The Finance Committee conducted interviews for the city clerk. We received a little over 20 applications. We ended up interviewing 3 candidates. Actually, all were excellent candidates. But with that, the recommendation from the Finance Committee is to offer the position to Becky Egan, who is the deputy clerk right now for the Village of Baldwin. And she would be actually starting work next Monday, the 13th, if approved, which would be great with all the elections going on.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. I don't have anything. Anybody? Future agendas? Anything? No?
Oh, were you going to do that proclamation?
Nope, they weren't not available. The one person was sick, I think.
Oh.
So we said we push it to next meeting.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. We stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody.